Alright guys, today I'll be doing my top 10 worst shows of all time. So let's begin. Number 10, Higglytown Heroes. So you see right here, ever since I was a kid, I actually used to watch Higglytown Heroes, but suddenly I started to have a hatred towards it. Because of this, I wouldn't say it would rip out South Park because it's a false claim to say that it definitely ripped off South Park. So I'll just say the reason why I dislike that show is because I'm getting too old for it. I'm a teen already. I'm 18, so apparently I started to dislike the show back in 2014. So eventually I'll just say if I even had a YouTube account earlier, I would just upload these videos, but no, I would just say that once you upload these videos on the TV, you'll get into serious trouble and your channel can result in a copyright strike or a copyright claim, which I'll just say it's terrible. So moving on to number 9, the Huggabug Club. Now there's a reason why I dislike the Huggabug Club. Well, number 1 is actually for babies, and 2, apparently there were lots of videos having the rant called the Huggabug Club rant, which I apparently enjoy the most, but that one was my hatred show on TV. So we got number 8 is Too Loud. Well, you could just see the reasons why Too Loud and the Loud House are not related to each other. Well, it definitely includes like 2 people who are definitely loud. I'll just say the show is definitely mediocre. I would just give it a 3 out of 10 stars for poor performances, especially with the person saying that they're loud. So we're moving on to number 7. So number 7 would be Sophia the First. As I mentioned before, I don't really like Disney Junior princesses that much on a TV show. But I'll tell you the reasons why. The reasons why I dislike this show is because my friend actually gave me too much crap for doing this. And my friend was thinking that she would watch Sophia the First, but eventually I got annoyed and decided to change the channel. So guys, please don't attempt to do these kind of things that I really did in the past, because this one will get you into serious trouble. And eventually I'll just say that, oh, I think I should change the channel is because I don't like the show. It's never going to work that way. So we're moving on to number 6, Doc Mcstuffins. So ever since that show actually came out, this show gave me like a lot of like crap, again, what I was saying. Because of this, these 2 boys who were from my old school decided to change the channel. I got really annoyed with this. I decided to move away. And you know why? The show definitely just thinks that it's definitely a toddler version of Toy Story trilogy movies, which I'll just say is the best in my opinion. So we're moving on to number 5, Go Baby. There's another reason why I really hate Go Baby. Well, because that show is for babies, and eventually I had a dislike towards it ever since I was a kid. But now as a teen, I don't rarely watch Disney Junior or Playhouse Disney shows. It's because definitely it's my hatred show of all time. So moving on to number 4, which is the Nut Shack. I'll just say the Nut Shack is apparently an American Filipino show, and apparently that show was definitely the most disgustiest show ever. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the full intro for the Nut Shack because this one will get into a copyright claim, or worse, will get me into a copyright strike. So apparently that show was inappropriate for children. And kids, don't watch the Nut Shack. I know a lot of people who are definitely under the age of 13 tend to watch it. Some of them like under the age of 18 to watch it, but I definitely suggest you guys do not, because you don't want to end up like having a bad influence with this show. So moving on to number 3, which is like Miracle Star. As I was saying, Miracle Star definitely copied The Amazing World of Gumball. Apparently when I watched this show, it does look like Chi-Chi, the same thing that happened to Gumball. Well, I'll tell you why. These characters definitely plagiarize themselves. It's similar to this one that actually just copied Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. I'll just tell you, this is plagiarism. And I'm very happy the show got cancelled. And guys, plagiarism on a show is not acceptable right here. It's not acceptable. Because of this, I'll just consider this one as a copyright claim, and apparently this one apparently has to like go out of the country, you know. So we're moving on to number 3, which is Almost Naked Animals. Well, you could see why the reason why I dislike that show, Almost Naked Animals, because that show was inappropriate. It's inappropriate for kids, as I was saying. Unfortunately, I'll just say that many kids still watch it on this day, some of them don't. But the reason why I definitely dislike the show is because this show definitely gave me a lot of bad influences, such as doing these kinds of inappropriate stuff, you know? It's so gross and disgusting, especially in public when you do all these kinds of things. And the reason why I dislike that show is because it's very inappropriate for children. So we're moving on to number 2, Chloe's Closet. So as you may know, Chloe's Closet is actually my least favorite. No, sorry, I mean Wings. So number 2 we have is Wings Club. So as I was really saying about this, so yesterday I just saw these kinds of things that Jim984 did this one to my YouTube channel on Divine Art. He actually snapshotted it and vandalized it. He did not give me credit. And I'll just tell you why. This Divine Art user is such a pathetic jerk. He's actually gonna act like Jake Stone or Troy Johnson, as I really mentioned on Twitter. So the reason why I really hate Wings Club is because you know how much rage I would normally get? I apparently made these videos out of Tetanus Sacrifice, and guess what? This thing gave me a stupid copyright claim. Even though I didn't get terminated yet, I almost did get terminated once. I suggest you guys not to do this one like me, because I think that many people do have a strong hatred on girl shows, especially me. So apparently I was around 12 years old when I started to hate this show. And apparently I was 15 at that time. I actually made a lot of Wings Club videos. But this user, Jim984, has gone way too far to the extreme. He is such a pathetic jerk. He just called me racist, girl, for hating a show. And what the fuck is this problem? Hating a show does not mean you're a racist. You got it all wrong, Jim984. And thankfully, I told Joey and Lonnie Lau to block this account and report this account, because I'll just presumably say, this is plagiarism. This is vandalism on someone's account. It's not acceptable. Not acceptable behavior, I would just say. And moving on to number 1, which is my most hated show, Chloe's Closet. Sorry for my hearing, cause I think my hearing is getting a little bad because of the earphones I've been using. So apparently, for number 1, I would just say Chloe's Closet is my most hated show. It is atrocious in my opinion. Eventually, I stopped watching this show back when I was around 9 or 10 years old. I used to watch the show as a little girl, but now I don't. Because of this, I really hated the show. Eventually, some people would just say that the show is great, some of them would say don't. And that's all I really need to say for now. If you really hate or like these shows, I respect your opinion, as long as you respect mine. But please, don't spam the comment section, and don't steal one of my videos without permission, and don't vandalize it. Even on social media, I do see people vandalizing on some people's account, which I would consider this as an unacceptable thing to do. Because of this, I do see my YouTube channel, along with the Wings Up videos, getting vandalized and taken a photo. I heard that many people do these kind of things, and I'm going to say this. Shame on you, Jim984. How could you do a thing like that to me? And what the fuck is your problem? You seriously need to grow up and stop harassing me. And I told Joey and Lonnie Loud, who definitely have Divine Art accounts, to block this bully and creep out of me. And I will not give him a second chance. Even though he blocked me or I even blocked him back, that user definitely deserves to get his account permanently suspended by Divine Art. But anyways guys, this is me, Wheeling the Tomboy Gamer, signing off.